Hi, I'm Virginie and I'm the founder of Clan Yogis. So in this video, we're going to work on releasing back pain. And this is a great sequence that you can do over and over again to really make a difference in the long term. So there are many different root causes from back pain. And again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physician, so make sure you check with them before you take on any programs or try to do any type of exercise that might not be recommended for you. Generally though, the cause of back pain is often our sedentary lifestyle because we spend so much time sitting down. Over time, the hip flexors get shortened and weak. The glutes get weak. The hamstrings get shortened and weak as well. And all of this gets filled into the pelvis and into the lower back. Our core gets weak as well. We don't have a good posture. Our back needs straightened, the chest needs open, and the core needs to be engaged. So in this video, we're going to work on all of these things. We're going to straighten the quads, the glutes, the back, the core, opening up the chest, stretching the glutes and the hamstrings as well, the quads and the hip flexors, so we can come into having a well-rounded body, which is at the same time strong and flexible. Let's get started. We're going to start sitting up with our legs crossed in Sukhasana. So take your time to really sink your sit bones down, crossing your legs and sitting tall through the spine. So remember, the belly button is in. You create length through the spine and you soften the buttocks and you let them be heavy. Just sink down and anchor onto the mat and allow for the softness to come into your lower back. If you feel quite tight onto your hips still, it's normal and it's absolutely fine. So you can bring a block underneath the hips to bring height, or you can use a folded blanket, a cushion, a pillow, whatever you might want to use to make yourself a little bit more comfortable, allowing for the space, allowing for space in the pelvis so you can allow the spine to be long and straight. So we're going to come straight into our side stretch here. So release the left hand to the side of the body. As you breathe in, extend the fingertips to the ceiling. Create that length from the outside of the right hip all the way to the fingertip, but keep that shoulder down and relaxed away from the ear. As you breathe out, lean to the left. So keep your spine along the side of the body extended. As you're breathing in down here, take the opportunity again to lengthen and exhale to soften. So remember, breathe in to come on back up and breathe out. So we keep the movement linked to the breath, but we keep those sit bones anchored. Make sure that the opposite hip is not lifting as you lean through the opposite side. Breathing in to extend and lengthen. Breathing out to soften. Inhale up. Belly button is in the wall. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release. Inhaling up. Exhaling to the side. Inhale. Exhale. Inhaling again. Exhaling. Last one on each side. Breathing in to lengthen. Exhale to soften. Coming up. And during this class, you're just being mindful of the sensation and the movement in your body. Being mindful of the difference between each side of your body. Breathing in here again, lengthen through the spine, sink the sit bones down. As you exhale, come into your twist. The right hand on the outside of the left knee. Take a deep breath in again, sinking the sit bones down. Take a deep breath in again, sinking the sit bones down. Exhale to gently twist and send your gaze back. Inhale, back to the front. Exhale to the other side. So you're on your fingertips and then a hand at the back. If you've brought height underneath the hips, you might not be touching the floor, and that's okay. You can wrap the arms back. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. Last one. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to soften. Inhale to come back to neutral and switch the legs round. Taking a deep breath and again lengthening through the spine. As you exhale, we're going to come forward. So leading with the chest, release the hands down and reach forward with your fingertips. Keep the length in the spine. Flex the feet here as we're going to get deeper into the head to hip into the glutes. So send the toes towards the knees so you're protecting the knees. All the rotation and the openness comes from the hips. With each inhale, think about lengthening through the spine. So send the tailbone down, crown of the head away, and lengthen through the fingertips. But don't lead with the forehead. You can let the head relax, but keep leading with your chest. Keep the collarbone spread wide, the shoulders broad. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, use your abs to bring the chest closer down. Flex the feet. Remember, protecting the knees. And stretch in the outer hip. Breathing in. Breathing out. Last one here. Inhale, coming up to neutral. And as you exhale, come onto your all fours. Well, in fact, onto your knees first. So into a kneeling position. Check your knees align with your hips and the same underneath. Ankles directly underneath your hips. We're going to gently press to open the chest. So release the hands behind you here. Fingertips facing towards your knees. Belly button is in. Inhale to tuck that tailbone under. As you breathe out, you're going to gently send the chest towards the ceiling. So you're squeezing your shoulder blades together. Keep the belly button in, pressing the chest, opening your heart to the sky. Keep the belly button in and the tailbone tucked under so you're not growing into the lower back. Opening the chest. Send your gaze up towards the ceiling so the neck is in line with the rest of the spine. Breathe in, breathe out, squeeze the shoulder blades more. Send that chest up. Inhale. Exhale. One more here. Inhale to come back up and move onto your all fours into tabletop. Knees directly underneath the hips, hands directly underneath the shoulders. So again, we're aligning wrist, elbow, shoulder. Spread your fingers wide, press them down. And here, we're just going to start with some gentle movement. So before we go into our cat-cow sequence, just gently start to roll the hips, kind of bring them under and back out. Just let the spine, your neck, shoulders, do whatever feels good, rolling them onto one side, switching to the other. Just bring some movement. Listening to your body here, do whatever feels good. Loosen muscles, the joints. Just move in every direction. Shoulders back, under, neck. And then come back to neutral. Coming into our cat-cow sequence. Starting with a long neutral spine, take a deep breath in here. And as you exhale, send the belly button as high as you can. So you're squeezing it up towards the spine. Press through the hands, tailbone tucked under, the hip comes down. Inhale into cow, opening the chest, squeezing the shoulder blades towards the buttocks, dropping the belly button, send the head up. Exhale. Inhale in cow. So in your cow, keep pressing through the hands and the knuckles of the fingers. Don't allow for the elbows to lock and hyperextend. Moving with your breath to your own rhythm. Let's do one more on each side. And exhale to return to neutral. Inhale, toes under. Exhale, press the hips up. coming into down dog. Take your hands slightly outside of the shoulders, down them out. Inhale to lengthen the spine, send your tailbone towards the ceiling. As you exhale, release the heels towards the mat. So here still first down dog. If we need to, slight bend in the knees. You can again here just bring some movement that might feel good into your leg, into your lower back, into the hips. Bending one knee and the other. Again, move with the breath if you're doing that. You might just want to keep the legs straight and release one heel and the other. Or you might want to totally bring some movement, bringing the knee into the opposite direction. Roll the shoulders out and down. Just create length between the shoulders and the heels. Straighten the upper back. Rolling the tricep underneath. Creating space. Take a deep breath and come up onto your toes, both heels up. Exhale, both heels down. Take a deep breath and sending your right toes towards the ceiling, coming into your three-legged down dog. So take your time here, extend the toes up, press through both hands evenly. As you exhale, bring the knee into the chest, round the spine, squeeze as high as you can, belly button is in. Breathe in, come back into your three-legged down dog. Exhale. Same thing again, knee to chin, roll the spine. Inhale. Last one, squeezing the knee in. Curl the spine. Inhale to extend up again. And this time on your exhale, bring the knee in, run the spine and send your foot forward towards the hands. So remember here, if you need to, you can step it to the side, grab the ankle and bring that foot forward. On your next inhale, press through that right foot. Toes below the feet, heels at your edges, coming up into your high lunge. Remember here, belly button is in, length through the spine. Imagine you're stuck to that wooden pole. As you breathe out, push the left heel away. Lengthen the front of the left thigh, get into that hip flexor, pressing the tailbone under, pressing through the right foot. Spread your fingers wide, engage shoulders back and down and relaxed away from the heels. Keep that knee, check the track of that knee, is it in? Keep it in line with the ankle. Don't let it go past it. You can be slightly behind or just above it. Deep breath. Keep your gaze forward, your drishti to a point of focus. Squeeze the thighs together if you feel you're losing your balance. Engage that pelvic floor. Squeezing it there, Mula Bandha. Inhale. Exhale. Last one. Inhale, straighten both legs. As you exhale, we're going to turn that back foot to 45-degree angle or to 90-degree angle, whatever feels good in your pelvis. Hands in horizontal position. We're going to come into our warrior two before we bend into that front leg. Again, check your alignment, tailbone under, belly button is in, length through the spine. Find the length through the crown of the head. As you exhale, bend that right knee. Again here, we're aiming to have the knee just directly above the ankle or slightly behind. That's fine. Your alignment, heels to heels if you're drawing a line, or if you're going a little bit for a more advanced position, you might want to go for the middle of the arch of the foot to that front heel. If that's too much for your balance, widen your stance. It's fine. Everybody's different. Everybody's pelvis is different. So your female head might be different. I can't really open wide into my hips. My body just doesn't allow it. And that's absolutely fine. So work with your body, see how that feels for you. And keep checking that knee. Make sure it's not caving in. If it is, there may be too much of an openness to the side of the body there for the pelvis. So bring your right toes. So bringing your left toes in at a bone to a 45-degree angle to allow the pelvis to come into the side of the mat so that knee will track above your ankle in a more natural position. It's not going to be an effort. You don't want to put too much pressure into the hips. Again, and then through the spine. And squeeze your shoulder blades here. Spread the fingers wide. Send your gaze to the middle right finger. Deep breath here. It's an intense pose. And think about sending the outer edges of the feet into the mat, the toes, the ball of feet. Feel the length and the energy through all the muscular system, through the toes, all the way up to the fingertips, the crown of the head. Deep breath. Make sure you're not leaning forward, that you're not back, keeping your spine neutral. Inhale, lengthen both legs. Coming into triangle. As you exhale, lean forward with that right hand. So push the left hip away. And just keep going with that right hand to reach down. So again here, different options. We might just want to lean onto that thigh, onto your shin. If you've got block, we can bring it onto the inside of the foot, into the length, and to the side, flat, fingertips down, entirely up to you. Just see where you are, but what you want is to keep the hips in line with the shoulders. So the shoulders are open and wide. You need to be able to spread your chest open, your shoulders wide here. So you don't want to go too far down that you're collapsing forward. You want to keep the length of the body, length of the spine. Find your length between your tailbone and the crown of the head. Press the right hip forward, left hip back, sinking the toes, outer edges, and the ball of feet into the mat. Keep those feet engaged to feel the length and the strength into the legs as well. Deep breath. Keep that length all the way alongside the body. Through the crown of the head. Send your left hand up towards the ceiling. Spread the fingers wide. Your gaze is to that top hand if that feels okay. If that's too much for the neck, release the head down to the bottom hand. Wrap that right shoulder back. Don't let it collapse forward. Spread the chest open. Inhale. Exhale. Release the left hand forward, bend right knee. Coming into your back toes, we're now into a low lunge position. We're going to come into lizard, so release the left knee down, and we're going to take that right foot a wee bit wider. So move it toe, heel, twist. So you've got that openness there in the pelvis for the chest to come forward. So here we can keep the toes tucked under for support and balance. If you're good, we can put the foot flat, top of the foot onto the mat. So take a deep breath and then lengthen again, finding your length from the crown of the head to the tailbone. And as you breathe out, we're going to release the chest down. So depending how open you are, and again, being very mindful of your body, not forcing it to where it's not supposed to go, working with your body. You might be able to bring the forearms down onto the mat without rounding the spine too much. I can't really do that on this side, so I'm going to help myself by using a block and pressing my elbows down. So again, try to keep your chest open and wide. Spread the collarbones apart. Just lead with the chest and not the forehead. With each inhale, think about sending the length into the spine. And as you exhale, soften, letting the breath return to earth with any tension that it has taken away at the same time. Breathing in, lengthen, and breathe out. Inhale. Exhale. One more here. Inhale, come back up onto the hands. Bring that right foot in, toe heel, in line, and just press it back into whole four. Just resetting here, just a wee moment before we go into our pigeon pose. So bringing your right knee back forward in between your hands and slide that right foot in front of your left knee, or just let it go past if that feels okay for you. Flex the foot. So start to send the toes towards that right knee. Deep breath and lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, just slide the left leg back to come into your pigeon. So keep your hips square to the front of the mat. Check your alignment. Make sure that right Make sure the left foot is not going all the way to the side, that your heel is not into a funny position. Make sure knee, ankle, and hips are aligned. Press onto the top of that left toe just to keep everything in line. Here we might also want to have a little bit of support on the outside of that right hip. So then again, you can use folded blanket, cushion, pillow, or a block if you have one. I'm going to use my block, place it underneath my hip. Take a deep breath in. And as I exhale, we're going to lean forward. So the chest can stay right across. If you feel that you are rolling onto your right hip there, you can just send yourself to a diagonal to the left side of your mat, just to allow for more weight to come and to press the left hip down towards the mat and not rolling onto that right hip. Keep flexing the foot. So here again, it's just like we were doing into the warm-up. As we flex the foot, we engage the lower leg muscles, which keeps the knee into its natural position. There's no rotation there. All the openness comes from the hip. And take some long, deep breaths here. Just imagine that you're able to breathe into your hips. Taking a deep breath in through the nose. Feeling the chest expand and the breath moving into the back of your body. And as you breathe out, imagine you can exhale through the hips so you can take any tension that you may be feeling away with the breath, sending it back to air. Breathe in, breathe out. Again, if that's too much for leaning forward that way, you can also use support underneath the chest. Don't feel you have to go all the way down. So that can be underneath the chest, that can be onto your forearms, or even block onto the forearms. Just really work with your body and see how that feels where you are. Don't ever force it again, as I said, just work with your body, meeting your body where it's at. Breathing in through the hips. Paying attention to the sensations you may feel. Without judgment. Again, using them as messengers. What are those messengers telling you? Let's hold it here for another couple of breaths. Inhale to come back. Up. Exhale, bring the right foot down and reset yourself to come into down dog. Hands outside of the shoulders, toes tucked underneath the hips, pressing the hips up towards the ceiling. Take your time here. Take a deep breath in to lengthen the spine, send the tailbone towards the ceiling. Exhale to roll the shoulders away from the heels and release the heels down. Relax your head. Look your toes or your knees. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. One more here. Next inhale, send the left toes towards the ceiling. Keep pressing through both hands. Exhale. Inhale again, send the toes up. Exhale, bend the knee, bring into the chest. Curl the spine, knee to chin, belly button as high as you can. Breathe in, send the toes up towards the ceiling again. Exhale, squeeze the belly. Inhale again. Last one. Exhale, round the spine, knee to chin. Inhale, lengthen, three-legged down dog. Exhale, bring the knee in, sending the chest as high as you can. Pressing the foot forward. Inhale to press through that left foot, through the back toe, both feet outer edge and heels to come up into your high lunge. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, extend through the back heel. So lengthen through that right leg. Keep pressing through the left foot again and squeeze your thighs together. Engage the pelvic floor to stabilize the pelvis. Check your knee directly above the ankle, slightly behind. Engage the glute, belly button, and lengthen the spine, tailbone under, shoulders away from the heels. Spread your fingers wide. Your drishti, your gaze is forward. Keep a point of focus, keeping your breath smooth. One more inhale here. One more exhale. As you breathe in, straighten both legs. Rotate the back foot, release the back heel down. Again here, aim for that 90-degree angle, maybe that 45-degree angle, depending how that feels for your hips. Take your deep breath in to again lengthen the spine, tailbone under, find the length through the crown of the head. Keep those hands in horizontal position. As you breathe out, come into your warrior two, bending into the left leg. Sending your knee directly above the ankles, slightly behind, and again check your hips, realign, move the feet about if that feels better, taking your stance wider, turning your toes in or out, feel how that goes. Make sure that you keep checking that knee, sending it to lining it with that middle toe. Send the outer edges of the feet down, both the feet, toes, heels, lengthen, squeezing the shoulder blades together. Sending your gaze to the middle finger. And again, check that you're not leaning forward or back. Everything's in line. Deep breaths. Feeling strong through the back, through the legs. Just feel the energy moving up from the outside of the feet all the way to your fingertips and the crown of the head. One more breath. Inhale, straighten both legs. Exhale, lean forward, leading with the left fingertips and keep going down to reach again for the thigh, the leg, the inside of the foot using your block or not. Right fingertips coming up to the ceiling, pressing the left hip forward, right hip back, length through the crown of the head. And again, the gaze goes up to the fingertips, to the top hand, or to the bottom hand, depending where you are. Keep pressing both the feet, toes, outer edges of the feet into the mat. Keep them engaged, feel the length. If that's too much for that front leg, you can also bend a wee bit of the leg, of the knee, and create the length. Make sure the chest is open in line with the hips, that you're not leaning, collapsing forward just to reach down. If you are, just come back up, create that length for the chest to open. Remember to work with your body and meeting it where it's at. Very different from both sides as well. So be aware of that. Be mindful of the way your body feels. Deep, deep breaths. One more. Inhale. Exhale, turning forward, bend that front leg. Come back into your low lunge and to your right toes. Exhale to release the right knee down, and again here just keep the toes tucked under or just come onto the top of the foot. Coming into our lizard pose. Again, we're going to take the left foot out wider, so moving in, toe, heel twice. Open, create that space into the pelvis. Inhale to find the length between the tailbone and the crown of the head, and as you exhale, again lead with your chest. And remember to take the options that you need. Remember that both sides of your body is different. For me, this side feels a little bit more open and low-key than on my right side. So I'm able to come down with my chest on my forearms and keeping that chest broad and my spine long. But if you need, again, remember you've got the block. You can stay on the hands, just whatever works for you. Check your alignment, keep pressing through the top of the big toe at the back to keep your joints all nice and aligned and in check with each other. Breathing in to lengthen the spine. And exhale to soften and release. One more breath here. Inhale to come up onto the hands. Exhale, release that back foot down into tabletop, just to reset here for a minute before moving into pigeon pose. So inhale to bring the knee, left knee, between your hands, sliding the left foot In front of your right knee or go past it. Take a deep breath and lengthen, and exhale to slide the right leg back. Again, checking your alignment, making sure you're not going out to the side. Pressing the top of the right big toe into the floor, the mat. Flexing your left foot, very important. Engaging the muscles into the left leg to protect the knee. And soften the hips down. Again, if you need to bring in some support underneath the hip, block, folded blanket, whatever that may be, to keep your hips in check, forward and square to the front. Take a deep breath in here again, and as you exhale, come forward and soften the chest. Directly in front of you, slightly to the right if you want to avoid rolling onto the left hip, and relax here. Remember, you can use support underneath the chest, underneath your elbows, coming up into the forearms. Whatever pose you're in, how far your body is going, it's absolutely fine. It's absolutely perfect. Breathing in and out through your hips. Letting each exhale, taking away any tension, wherever you may feel it. Back to you. Be mindful of your breath and of your body. Make sure the breath stays smooth and not labored. If it just becomes really hard and it's an effort to breathe in and out deeply, then maybe you've gone too far. Just come back up. Soften the angle into the knee. Soften as you come back up onto your forearms maybe. Check how that feels in your body. Check with your breath always. Make sure you're still flexing the left foot. And one more breath. And inhale, coming upright. And exhale, this time we're going to switch. And exhale, this time we're going to bring the right leg back, forward, and we're going to lie back down onto our mats, taking the knees into the chest, into Apanasana. Wrap your arms around, give yourself a big cuddle. Just take a few moments here. If you want, you can gently sway from side to side. Or just staying still. Shoulders relaxed. Long deep breaths in and out. As you inhale next, open your arms wide into T position. Connect the palm of the hands with the floor. As you breathe out, drop your knees to the left. So try to keep them in line with each other. If they're going too much apart, like the right knee is falling back. You can use again support as the block, as a folded blanket or a cushion underneath the thighs as you start to soften into the pose. Check the alignment of the shoulders as well. Make sure they're both evenly pressing into the mat. Your right shoulder might have started to lift now. So inhale, lift both shoulders, and exhale to release them back down. Keep your head neutral, or if that feels good, you can turn it to the right. Close your eyes here and again. Reconnect with your breath. Feel your belly inflate as you breathe in. Your ribs are not twisted, they can't expand the same way. Inflate, exhale, soften. And in this next few moments here, just again really pay attention to the way your body is feeling. To any sensations that arise. Allow the body to soften and release into the pool. Allow the nervous system to switch off. Taking those long deep breaths to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system. Taking away any tension, both physical and mental. As your body is now released a little bit into the pose, you might want to take your support off from underneath the hip if you were using it, just to come deeper into the twist. If you wish, you can use your left hand to grab hold of the outside of the right hip. Just gently pull it forward, just to increase that stretch into the lower back, into the middle of the back, wherever you may feel it. It's optional, you don't have to do it. Make sure the right shoulder stays down. Keep breathing deeply. Two more breaths here. Inhale, knees back to the middle. Exhaling to the right. Again, take your option. Support underneath if you need to. Make sure both shoulders are down onto the mat. Pressing the left one as much as the right. Turning your head to the left if that feels okay. Close your eyes. And again here, using the breath to stimulate your parasympathetic nervous system, allowing the body and the muscles, everything to relax and soften into. Breathing in and breathing out. Welcoming any sensations and any feelings. If you wish, grabbing hold of that side of the left hip or the right hand. As you breathe out, pulling the left hip forward a little bit more, if that feels okay. Again, it's optional. Deep breaths. Try to relax both shoulders down. More breaths here. Inhale, back to the middle. Exhale, extend the legs out in Shavasana if that feels okay. Remember, option, keep the knees bent, feet outside the hips, knees together. Arms alongside the body, space between the body and the arms to allow the palms to face the ceiling and the shoulders to relax down. Chin towards the chest, creating a lovely neutral spine, and allow the feet to soften out to the side, knees out. Keep them slightly outside of your hips. And then again for the next few moments, just take some long deep breaths in and out through the nose. Keeping that connection with your breath and allowing the body to soften and settle. Paying attention to any feelings, any sensations now after this lovely yoga practice. How does it feel? But don't judge it. Don't tell yourself it feels good or feels bad. Just be with that sensation, just be with the feeling. Notice them, observe them. Just let them be. Embody those feelings. Celebrate that connection with your body. Feeling grateful for it. When you feel ready, take a deep breath in through the nose. Long and gentle exhale through the mouth as you smile. Bring your knees back into your chest. Give yourself a big cuddle. And again, entirely up to you if you want to gently sway from side to side or draw some small circles with your knees. Maybe a few in one direction and then you can switch sides. When you feel ready, keeping your eyes closed, just come all the way back up to seated position. Legs crossed in Sukhasana. Finding the length through the spine, the strength through the core. Soften and relax the shoulders down. Bring your hands to the center of the chest. When you feel ready, you can reopen your eyes. And namaste. So I hope you have enjoyed this video. As I said, keep practicing it maybe a couple of times a week over the space of 3 or 4 weeks, and I'll guarantee you will feel a difference. In my Clan Yogis on-demand monthly subscription, I've got a full program on yoga for back pain, which is a 4-week program which includes those type of videos and a meditation to promote healing. So if you like this video, please give me the thumb up and subscribe to the channel and go and check out all these other videos here that you may also like. Namaste.